What up, everybody, for this Hump Day edition of King's Court? I'm your man, King Real, joined as always by my guy, Jay Money. What's up, Jay?
What's up, y'all? What's up, man? It's another day. We're not a so good a day yesterday, but I love when it happens because the bounce back is real, man. The comeback is real. Finna slam it today, man. Finna wake up with bands and all our accounts next tomorrow, man. So y'all hit the like button. Everybody finna eat together.
For sure, for sure. Well, yeah, we got a decent show going today, man. You see our guy, Jay Money, made his debut, or his second debut. The first one that had some audio problems, but he actually made his official debut on the Low Bag Show. My man went in there and killed it. You guys didn't watch it. Please go back and hit the rewind and check it out after you watch King's Court. Not during King's Court, but after you watch King's Court. Go back and watch it again. Plus, that show since hit over 600 views today, man. So shout out to Jimmy. Shout out to Pete. You guys work hard. You've been doing your thing for a minute now. So bravo to you guys for a great show, great audience, man. And Jay Money, man, great performance you had today on the Low Bag Show. Plus, we are being joined in probably the next 20 minutes, 30 minutes by our man, Will Capper. He is making his King's Court debut to come in here and talk to us about some of these basketball games, pick his brain about some of these spreads, and just talk NBA with this guy, man. Great guy, probably one of the coolest guys I know in the industry, man. Cool as a breeze, Will Capper is, man. But Jay, man, let's get into it, man. I heard you talk about it earlier too on Low Bag Show. This Celtics game is getting ready to kick off for us, man. You want to give your people your thoughts again? Because I'm rocking with Celtics over here, bro, with no problem.
Yeah, and I do lean to the Celtics in this one. I didn't take them with the spread, but that is the way that I lean. I know the last three from these teams have went under. Some strange reason, I have a funny feeling about this one that it will go over. I did get the over at 214. It's up to 216, so it's been shooting up. We know how the Celtics been playing. We know that they're a defensive team, but the last 6 games have flew over the total. I'm talking about flying over. One of them was an overtime game, but it still would have went over even without the overtime. And I was on the under in that game. But like I say, the way the Celtics been playing, they've been pushing the pace. Everybody's been scoring. They've been passing the ball real well. I would have to look towards the over in this game because the Pacers, they can score as well. But the Indiana does play really good defense. It's a tough one, but I did already take the over. And as far as the side, I would lean towards the Celtics in this one. What you got, Real?
Yeah, I took the over in this game at 214. Last time I looked at my book, it was sitting at 216. So I got it early this morning. On the Low Bag Show when Dan had brought it up too. I already had took it this morning. I seen Dan Kelly liked it. A couple other people in the chat liked it. So I was loving that too, that everybody else had liked it as well. Sometimes that works out. Doesn't work in your favor though when everybody like the same play. You like sometimes that shit you like want to fade. But I think in this situation right here, man, it's a good situation. No Turner either over there tonight for Indiana. I know Collison was questionable game time, but now it shows that he is playing. I'm pulling up the spread right now on my William Hill. Still sitting at 7, totals at 216. I took Boston first half too. Both of these teams have been balling. Celtics are fully healthy finally. They're 14-5 at home, 13-6 ATS. They're 14-5 at home. Yeah, 13-6 ATS at home. Boston won his last 5 home games. They're 16-7 straight up in their last 23 games at home versus Indy. Indy won his last 7 out of 10 games, but 1-4 ATS in their last 5 games. The last 6 Indy games went over. The last 7 out of 10 Boston games went over, man. So this is, again, for me, like an easy one to jump on, man, and take the over. That's the first thing I saw when I looked at these two ball clubs. I knew Indiana has been an over trender, and Boston at home, this can't pass on them there, man. So I took the Boston Celtics first half, and I took the over 214. It's now sitting at 216. Jay, I know you said you were leaning that way. Do you like that over 216 at all? Or do you tell them to kind of stay off of it?
Yeah, this was one I was kind of weary of. I'm gonna tell you the truth. First look at this game, I was thinking under for the simple fact that you have 2 Eastern Conference teams, and we all know that. If they see this could be like a playoff game, and then like I always say, in any playoff game that I feel like is gonna have a playoff feel to it, we see defense ramp up. Not necessarily the pace slow down, but if you get missed shots there, both of these teams which they're very well, that play good on defense. If they get to slowing it down a little bit, then we will get off of that pace, and I could see this going under. So I'm not going to recommend it to anyone, especially since this went up 2 points. I might even have a chance at a middle and say if I had got it at like 213, I might even maybe try the middle with this one, even though that's something that I'm not doing. I wouldn't recommend anyone doing, but you can possibly do it like that. But I wouldn't recommend the over at 216 for the simple fact that I got it at 214. And first look, I was thinking under. I had bet the over, but it wouldn't surprise me at all if this game did go under, because you do have two good defensive teams, and the last three between the two have went under, and this could be like a playoff feel. So I'm a little weary of that. I didn't go big on it, but I did take the over, seeing how these two teams have been playing lately.
No doubt, no doubt. Well, let's move on to this next game that we have getting ready to kick off too. So my play for that game is the 214. It's in at 216 now over. I say in play. I still like it. You guys just heard what Jay Money just said about it. I'm on the first half, -4. Nothing full game yet, but it's something I may just still hop on in play. The 7 is cool, but Indiana ain't no punk team either. But this Boston team, like we said, is finally healthy at home, so we'll see what it is. But on to this next game, Jay, a home-and-home game. You know how we usually do in these home-and-home situations. We usually take the home team this time. That's how I do it. I take the home team the first time and the home team the second time. In this Philadelphia and these Wizards game, man, the Wizards suck, y'all. I just don't know how to keep putting it that way to y'all, man. Wizards suck. Wizards are now 5-11 ATS last 16 games, but they are 5-0 last 5 home games versus Philly. Philly just went out there and whooped their ass last night. I know Porter, I don't know, yeah, he's in, but he was dealing with something too earlier as well. I'm on Philly. I took Philly again in this spot, man. I jumped on Philly first half and full game. I just don't see why you wouldn't bet Philly here. Yeah, they won the last 5 games at home, but no Wall, no Morris out there. This Wizards team just can't compete right now, man. They're unable to rebound, so that's fucking up their scoring.
Yeah, you're exactly right. This is one that I would just stay away from. It's just me personally seeing that. I mean, you know how we eat on these home and homes. I've been eating on all season. Most of the time, I would say probably 9 times out of 10, at least 8 times out of 10, they hit. And it's a real strong angle. It's really hard to beat a team twice like that, especially like on the back-to-back. It's really tough. It's almost an auto fade to me most of the time, no matter who's playing. I know Washington is good. I'm not taking them here. It's just I'm not taking Philly either. So I don't have play on this game. The under, I would maybe look towards the under for the simple fact that they scored so many points last night. I do see a little bit more defense being played tonight, especially out of Washington after Philly just put up 130 points on them. You don't have any JJ Redick in this game. We know without Wall, the Wizards have been scoring that many points. I would lean to the under. I hadn't bet it. I probably won't bet it for the simple fact I can't bet Philadelphia 76ers unders because they run real fast. But I would definitely lean to the under. The side, I could definitely see why you would take Philly. I mean, you could cash with it. It's just me, the way that I do these home and homes. I can't. It's either I'm going to bet the home team, or I'm going to stay away on that second game. So this is why I'm staying away. Don't be surprised to see the Wizards come out there and win. I'm just saying. But the 76ers should win this game.
Yeah, I'm not saying they can't go out there and win this game. My whole thing, like I don't see enough from the Wizards team to make me want to back this team whatsoever. Redick didn't play last night, and look how easy they beat them. Yeah, granted they was in Philadelphia, but both teams traveled right now. Both teams traveled. The 76ers team, they're just missing JJ. That's pretty much all they missing. Everybody was sick at one point with the stomach injury. They all back. Wizards are just bad. The fact you don't have Wall out there, that doesn't change anything for me. You went out there and beat an OKC team, and we'll talk about that in a little bit, but we saw from OKC last night that they're just bad right now. So, you know what I mean? That win doesn't impress me whatsoever. This Philadelphia team is balling right now. They're hungry. So I'm definitely on Philadelphia, bro. But I hear what you're saying, Jay. I mean, you make complete sense, bro. Complete sense.
Right. Like I say, Philly definitely should be the play here, but we know how the NBA has been, man. I know we got Will Capper coming here, but I just gotta say something real quick, man. Especially about 2 games yesterday. One, my guy here called it perfectly to take it in play plus all the points. How the hell, if you got Indy, man, I'm sorry. If you got them minus 10, 9.5, it don't matter what the fuck you got them at. You could have had them at 8.5, and Cleveland come all the way back and cover that game. I'm sorry, that pissed me off, and I didn't even have no money on it. That should never happen. I mean, I know they've got Boston the next day. But damn, you were up. 22 points in the first quarter. You were just absolutely throttling them. And we know the Cavs aren't even a second half team, and they came all the way back to cover the spread is what tripped me out. I can understand them come back, but when they snuck inside the 10, they really tripped me out. But Pacers still got the win. We know this is the NBA and the team just wants to get a win. But damn, man, the Kings, they were up by 18 points at halftime. They outscored the Suns 40-18 in the second quarter, man. And then the third quarter, they get outscored 33-14. I was absolutely heated, man. I just went to sleep. I should have played the Suns, but I was just so pissed, man. I just went to sleep because I had a feeling that the Kings might lose the game, but I couldn't even watch it, man. I just woke up and they end up losing by 4. Absolutely terrible, man. They can't keep getting up like that and then end up losing the game. That was just terrible.
Got you. And your first message, Larry, I got it. The first one is fine. Works out perfectly, so that's fine. I hear you that, Jay. Yesterday, man, we suggested that y'all got in here early. We played the Cavaliers. That's like a spot I like to look for when teams will get down early and big like that. You jump on them. But I did not expect the Cavaliers to come back and cover the spread, actually. Indy just basically gave the fuck up. It seemed like the Cavs actually tried for a little bit. But if you look at the game more, it's kind of like Indy just didn't care. They figured they got their lead. We play Boston tomorrow. They fight back. We'll just do just enough to stay in the game. For us, the bettors, who actually had Indiana like I did, minus the 10.5. And also to you guys, I said, hey, take the 9.5, but I suggest play this game. And a lot of you played it and then take Indy. That's just horrible right there, Jay. That's no excuse. You whooping the team by that bad. Man, at least maintain it. You know what I mean? At least maintain it. Another game yesterday, bro, that was just pitiful to watch. OKC. Something is wrong with this OKC team. And if you ask me, it's Billy Donovan. I definitely want to get Will Capper take on it when he comes in here. That's a question I definitely want to ask him. What does he see in this team as well? But this OKC team, J Money, man, are we going to have to just stop betting this team for right now? Is this another example of where we have to stay off of a team until we see maybe a change, a coach, or a trade?
Man, I don't even want to talk. What the fuck? I know we was talking about it yesterday, and we both thinking that OKC would come out firing. We know the whole new coach angle and all this hoopla or whatever. It ended up cashing again if you just blindly betting the new coach angle. And I saw people on Orlando +8. It was not Orlando, on the Timberwolves +8, and it was a damn good play. But if you look at the end of the game, man, why the hell is Russ even? He had 2 times for one, not even going for the tie. You just shooting threes. You're not even a 3-point shooter, and then their contested shots, those are just terrible shots, man. And then you pass it to him again for him to shoot that one, man. I'm sorry. I got to find Paul George or somebody, or I'm just going to go in for the 2, try to send this game to overtime. That was absolutely terrible. I don't know if they were trying to lose or what, man. But Westbrook, he's not hitting his shot right now. Why are you even trying to take a game-winning 3? You're not even hitting mid-range pull-up shots. So there right now, I definitely think it's the coach. I'm not a fan of Scott Brooks, but Donovan, he has to go, man. They got to get somebody else in there. They need to get. I could name at least 3 coaches, but it's not Billy Donovan. He needs to go back to college or something, or maybe a different NBA team. But I didn't agree with the hire at first, man. I ain't gonna say too much on it, but I might be on OKC tomorrow. So
I think Mark Jackson should come over there and coach OKC. I think Mark Jackson would be a perfect fit over there right now for this OKC team. What's your thoughts on that, Jake?
Real. Man, you are my guy. I can't say what I really want to say, but bro, I was just thinking that I didn't want to say it, but it was finna come out of my mouth that they should have Mark Jackson on there. I put that on my son. I don't put that on my son. I was just thinking I was gonna say it, and then you just said it, man. That's why we on the show together, man. That's why everybody in the chat. We got 349 people watching. That's why y'all here, man. Because me and my guy, we be on it. We think alike. Great minds think alike. Perfect. Mark Jackson would be a perfect hire for them. I like that, real. You were spot on with that one. You read my mind, man.
No doubt. Another game yesterday, too, man, the Kings. Disappointing loss, you ask me, man. Kings seemed like they had that game nice, and they turned around and just, folded. I think it might have been a fatigue factor, but a team that this talented as the Kings, to me, yesterday was just a bad loss. We take bad losses in NBA, and to me yesterday, that was a prime example of one of those being a bad loss. Your thoughts on that game yesterday, Jay, that Kings game?
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, I had the Kings and they were up by 18 at the in the first half, at the end of the first half, and then they just let them come all the way back. I know you could say it's fatigue, but we know the Suns without Booker, they had the Kings have no fucking excuse for losing that game and letting them come back in that fashion. They came back and won the game in the third quarter. I don't even think the fourth quarter even mattered. I know I didn't watch anything, but the third quarter, the game was won in the third quarter. Man, it was absolutely terrible. I can't believe they came all the way back to tie the game up. I had to stop watching them, man, because I knew that it wasn't going to work out well for me. They had pissed me off, man. I'm sorry. It could have been fatigue, but the Suns team is just trash, especially without Devin Booker, and I'm fucking fading them tonight. I'm finna get that money back, man.
Yeah, let's go. Well, we might as well start in and break it down. I'm trying to bring up my chat. I don't know what just happened over here to my my other Wi-Fi on my thing. I think somebody probably disconnected that one, but oh well. Anyway, I'll get the chat back up over here. Let's get on to this next game, man. And leading into this next game, the Hawks yesterday, man, they had what was that Hawks game like yesterday, man? Because I was turning back and forth, and because I wasn't really watching. It was the Hawks playing the fucking Raptors. I really didn't care too much, but I'm like, God damn, I have to keep flicking to it. I'm like, why is it so close of a game? I think the Raptors are in desperate need of Val back, man. They desperately miss Val over there, and this Hawks team is starting to gain a slight bit of confidence playing together a little longer. But now they're playing this Nets team, but this does not give a shit about anything about the Hawks. The Nets are a machine right now as favorites. They're 9-1 as favorites. They're 1-6. 1-6 straight up last. Hold on. That's two different things. Yeah. You're right. Yeah, and the Hawks are 1-6 straight up in the last 7 games in Brooklyn. This is all nothing but a net situation for me. How can I back a team on a back-to-back that's one of the worst defensive teams on the road, who gives up the most points on the road, and that's the Atlanta Hawks. They didn't do it last night, giving up points, but I think that's all because of the Raptors. I think tonight they're in a bad situation, man, and I'm rocking with Brooklyn in this spot, man. I actually took Brooklyn first quarter and full game. I think Brooklyn get it done today. Not first quarter, I'm sorry, first half and full game.
Yeah, excuse me. They are in an absolute terrible spot, man, the Hawks. I can't believe they did play that good of a game yesterday, but it was kind of part of the Raps just overlooking them. But it was a lot of part of the Hawks. I mean, they came to play, but we knew I should have known this, man. Vince Carter going back to Toronto. I should have known they was going to cover the spread. You should have known damn well, man. They going to fix it, do whatever they got to. That's probably his last time going there. You know damn well they going to do that, man. I don't know why I wasn't on it. Now that I look at the game yesterday and find out that they, you know what I'm saying, it was a little farewell tour or whatever, then I was like, oh, damn, I can't believe I missed that. That's why that game was so close, man. But then the Raptors, you know, they probably let them boys cover. You never know, man. The boys probably told their family, hey, look, they getting a boatload of points. Put y'all money on them, man, and y'all going to cash easy. We're going to win, but we just going to barely win. I definitely think that type of shit happens. But on to this game, man, I definitely lean the Nets. The Hawks are in a terrible spot. Nets got everybody back. I know they was coming off a little road trip, but then they sat Carroll and Harris on that last game. They back tonight. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's playing. Well, obviously other than Crabbe and Rondé Hollis Jefferson and one more player, but they cool, man. The Nets still gonna cover tonight. It's a little weird because they coming off a little road trip, but it was just a 3-game road trip. So I like the Nets to bounce back tonight. I definitely don't see the Hawks winning this game at all, or even staying close.
Me then, I'm looking right now, and it looks like the Celtics already done jumped into Pacers' ass, just like I thought. And Wizards is keeping it close right now, early game. Got the chat back up. You see any questions in the chat you want to answer real quick, Jay? We got a little bit of time before this next game and before we get Will Capper in the next 10 minutes.
Yeah, I see people saying Nets is the play. He's saying, I love Nets at the first half. Johnny DeSico, Demond saying, I just wanted to say thanks to King Grill and Jay Money. You guys helped me out a lot, man. You're welcome. That's why we do it, man. That's why we here. Y'all, the fans, the ones that keep us going. You know what I'm saying? So this is why we do it. Everybody's saying hit the like button. Yeah, if y'all don't mind, we got 400 people watching, man. If y'all don't mind, hit the like button. I know people in the chat be saying it a lot. They just trying to keep it refreshed on your mind. For the people that hadn't pressed the like button, it goes a long way, man. We give y'all winning picks. Least you could do is hit the like button. Yeah, Jeremy Miller, what's up? Kane Ross, what's up, everybody, man? Y'all be in the chat every single day, bro. Monday through Friday, I see y'all in the chat, man. That's dedication. I appreciate y'all, man, for sticking with us. You know what I'm saying? Even through the little bad times, even we have a bad day, y'all still stick with us. Come back next day because y'all know that bounce back is real.
Well, we got Will Capper coming in a second, so let's break down these little two. Well, we get to these two games, so I definitely want Will around for this Bucks game, Bucks Rockets game. So let's jump on this Spurs Grizzlies game, Jay. I seen earlier on low back that you said you were taking Memphis, bro. I can't disagree more, brother, in this one. But that's just my bias. You know, we cappers, we all have our insights. You could be dead on in this one. But to me, this Memphis team is just bad. When I say bad, I mean bad. They cannot score. They cannot rebound. Look at all their stats, you guys. Go look at this Memphis team and see what they do at home and see what they do. If their defense isn't flowing for this team, their offense cannot pick up the slack. It can't pick up the points. And now they just lost Brooks today, too, with he has toe surgery. So he scores a little bit for this team, and they need all the scoring weapons they possibly can have. I know no Rudy Gay were there for the Spurs. I don't think the Spurs are going to need it tonight, man. And it's only sitting at 2.5. This team is, like I said, it's just bad, bro. And the Spurs are 12-5 in their last 17 games in Memphis, Jay. Please tell me why you think the Memphis is a play, bro, because when I say I hammered the Spurs today, I hammered that Spurs play today, bro.
Right, yeah, the Spurs definitely should be the play, but like I said on Low Baby, I watched it. Everybody and their grandma is here on the Spurs. If I'm sitting back and looking at the game, yeah, none of the stats go the Grizzlies' way. They've had playoff series against the Spurs before. They know this team, not necessarily the coach, but the Gasol and Conley do. They know this team pretty well. They can, if there's any spot where they can win. I mean, I know y'all call me crazy. This is a small spot. I just put $40 on it, but I do, for some strange reason, I do feel like the Grizzlies might pull out a win here. I didn't even take the points. I just took them on the money line. Like I say, $40 bet. I didn't go large on it or anything. I know, real, you might have way more money on it to you. This is a kind of a sweet and sour game, because if the Spurs do win, that's cool, because I'm going to fade them tomorrow. I know they're going back to the house. This is a little back-to-back. Look at who they're playing tomorrow. They got a big game versus OKC at the house. This is sort of a home and home. It's not an immediate home and home, but it is a home and home. The Grizzlies just lost by 20 points to the Spurs in San Antonio. Like I say, they know this team. If the Grizzlies are gonna get a win at any time, it's gonna be at the house. It's not gonna be on the road. This is a nice little spot for them. You see the line is super low. This morning I saw a bunch of money on San Antonio, but the line was actually went down. It was at 3, then it went down to 2.5, and so it went back up to 3 and then back down to 2.5. You see all type of shit going here. I just got a funky feeling about this one, man. I could be wrong, but if I'm right, I need my praise.
Now, if you're right, you're right. Shit. But I'm your friend. I think you're wrong. But you might be right. What they say on what's his name? He said, when I'm right, because I could have been wrong, but I'm not wrong because I should have been right when I was right. What he said? I forget how he broke it down to 50 Cent. And 50 Cent looked at him and was like, yeah, you're right. What was it? Get Rich Die Trying? Well, what's the name was breaking it down to him about you right, you wrong. But yeah, hey, I feel you there, Jay. It's a tough game, man. I can see you, man. It could be a disappointment, just like that Kings game last night was a disappointment, and the Suns came back and won that game and won that game. Also, real quick, Freeman said we gotta be on point. You guys stay on point. You appreciate me. I just realized you abbreviated your name, and I think you hit me earlier and you tagged me earlier. Listen, I'm not a dick. I'm cool. I am chill as shit, you guys. But if you guys tag me on Twitter and you don't even follow me, and you just tagging me and putting your plays up, I block. I just instantly block. You don't even follow me and you tag me with your plays. Not like, hey, King, what you think about this? But like promoting yourself, trying to get yourself known off the fact that we're starting to get a little bit of exposure to your name. At least give us a follow, man. At least be following me before you just tag me and some shit. As soon as I see that, I just block. You could be a cool person, but if you don't follow me and you just tagging me, I'm not even gonna play with it. I'm gonna block you and just move on, because I feel like you using me to at least gain some kind of name or some likes. At least do me a favor and hit the fucking follow button. We ain't asking for too much, huh, Jay? A simple follow.
Right. Right, that's all we asked for, man. And I want to shout out to everybody just real quick. TBL, he said, like, I did finally get to 2,000. I can't say finally because it took me forever to get to 1,000, and then it was 2,000 like that. So I appreciate everybody for following, man. Y'all won't be sorry that you did. So I just had to say that real quick, man. We get back to this game. Just a real quick on that Memphis. Like I say, the Spurs definitely could be the play. This is just one where I'm going against the grain. I used to never do this. I used to be that guy going to bet the Spurs thing and everything was easy. And like I say, and sometimes the public does win, or it could be that easy. I just feel like this one, it looks way too easy. The Spurs should be at the very least -5 here, even though it's on the road in Memphis. The way the Spurs been playing and the way that the Grizzlies have been playing, two teams heading in totally different directions. Why the fuck is the line sitting at 2.5? I'm sorry. I've seen this movie before. I want to take a shot on the Grizzlies. So if it lose, hey, that's cool. I can perfectly understand. But if it does win, we're going against the grain and being a contrarian and going against everybody, you have to be like, damn, man, that guy was up to something. But I could definitely see it losing. This is just one of those spots where I'm going contrarian and I'm fading the public, and I hope to get a nice little score out of it.
Well, it's about that time, J Money, man. But let's do this right here, man. Let's give this man a warm welcome. Took time out his day to come on here and bless the King's Court show, man. Everybody, let's welcome in a guy who I respect, a guy who be on his shit. If you're not following him, please go out there and follow him, man. Mr. Wellcapper, man. Welcome into King's Court, man. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. This is one of the few NBA resources out there for handicapping. I absolutely love your show, and it's super exciting to be on here and chat with you guys today.
Well, thank you for coming on, man. I know my man Jay Money, I told him you was coming on too, and he was excited as well. Like, man, we got Wellcapper on, man. We finally Hollywood now. We finally out here, man. And plus, it feels good. The Caps of basketball with another basketball capper, brother. Hey, Will, I got a question for you. We just touched on a few of these games. And, man, you are fantastic when it comes to these totals, man. You are one of the only guys out here I ever tell on totals. You are so sharp when it comes to those lines. This game we took earlier, it's on the board now, but it was the Boston and Indiana game. The total was at 214, moved up to 216. What was your thoughts on that? Did you play the over in that game, or did you stay off of that that total completely?
Yeah, my gut when I first saw the line was this is an over spot, but I did a little bit more research, seeing that Turner was out, seeing that Indiana is a little fatigued. I decided to play Boston -8 instead. You got an update on that one for me? Boston doing pretty well?
Boston doing really well right now. Boston is 22-18 right now. They were up by about 10 points, but pushing the end of the first quarter, but they're looking great.
Okay, so that sounds like a pretty slower pace than I would have expected. I thought we would be in for an over on that one, but it's an interesting matchup. The Celtics, they legitimately coming together as a team. Like October, November, it looked like Brad Stevens really didn't know what he had in terms of pieces fitting together. But this last month, they have really clicked, and I gotta say they are damn impressive. Celtics, I didn't think they were live for the East until this last month kind of coming together. I still like the Raptors personally to win the Eastern Conference. Sorry, Celtics fans. But Kawhi Leonard is just a brutal mismatch for that team. I don't know how they defend him when it comes down to a 7-game series. But the Celtics are playing really, really well right now. And I would expect with Indiana pretty tired as it gets into the fourth quarter, and they need to make some key shots. Maybe their legs aren't there, and they miss the jumpers that they need to get back into this one. So Boston puts them away in the second half.
No doubt, man. That shit sounds good to me because I'm on Boston first half as well, too. So, hey, that sounds good. Maybe I'm going to take it again second half. Anything you want to add to that, Jay Money? Any question you want to out here you want to ask Will about a game that may have already started or one that's getting ready to start?
Yeah, I did want to ask him just a little tidbit that over is on great pace for us. So, I mean, we know the game isn't over, but as far as now, we know the overs and unders are all about pace. They're on a real good pace for us right now for the over, and the Celtics aren't looking too bad themselves. Well, Capper, I did want to ask you a question. First off, I'm real welcome to have you on here, man. I look up to you, man. I'm glad you come on for us. You know what I'm saying? You got a boatload of followers, man. I know you're good. The other day, you went like 5-0, 6-0, killed it, man. So I be retweeting your plays out there, man, putting you out there. I know you're a real good basketball capper. I did want to ask you, I know we're finna get into this Bucks game. I wanted to ask you, I know the Bucks got the best record in the league right now. Who do you think is the best team in the league right now? I was kind of going back and forth with a coworker today. They're rookies. They were thinking, they talking about Golden State Warriors still the best team in the league. What do you think about that?
Well, the Warriors are in kind of this. It's the Warriors. I mean, this is still the Warriors. The title is theirs unless something truly crazy happens to Steph Curry. The way that they're playing right now is kind of typical for kind of the middle of the season, going through sort of the grind of the season. They can turn it on when they feel like it. Like last night, like it was too easy for them against the Knicks. They just put that team away with, when they kind of felt like it, they will go. And I would say Warriors are still the team to beat without question. It turned out that like the Western Conference, I thought it looked like it was shaping up to be like way weaker this year than usual. But the Houston Rockets coming on right now, I think they're still going to be a formidable opponent when it comes down to the Western Conference Finals. I would expect Houston gets into that second, third, seed, so that we do get Rockets Warriors Part 2. That's going to be sick. I can't wait for that. I think Harden obviously took a little bit off the gas through the first third of the season to try to save himself up for the playoffs. Last year, he was like pushing hard. He's like, I'm going to get this MVP. There's no doubt about this. I'm going to be the best player in the league and get this award, personal achievement. That was great for him. But clearly, like when the time came and he needed to make threes in that game, in that Game 7 against the Warriors, he just didn't have it. So he's going to have a little bit more life in him in May and June this year, which will make things interesting. But people forget the Warriors get Boogie Cousins coming on this next couple weeks. Boogie Cousins probably makes his debut on the probably the beginning of next week. This team is going to be totally out of this world offensively. I don't know how you're going to be able to keep pace with them. They don't even really have to play defense, which is nuts. Klay Thompson's taking a step back this year. That's a little concerning. And Draymond Green, his shots it's kind of abandoned him, which is too bad because I like Draymond. But I think with the addition of Cousins, with Kevin Durant still being the top 2 player in the league, and Steph Curry is just this out of this world mismatch for every single team. I'd be surprised if anyone can really challenge the Warriors. The Bucks, great job by them to this point. Great record so far. I think you're probably going to see a lot of buzz for Giannis to get the MVP because they finished with the top record in the East, which is very likely. I think he'll get a bunch of votes just on that basis. So if you're into the betting the MVP market, I do think there's probably some value on Giannis because I don't think that the Celtics or the Raptors are going to catch or pass them for the top seed in the East. But when it comes to the playoffs, they're not a good enough team, in my opinion, in a 7-game series against the Celtics or the Bucks to make the Eastern Conference Final. Somebody's going to pop them in the second round of the playoffs. I think we're going to get what we had hoped for all along, which was Celtics Raptors in the Eastern Conference Finals, and I like the Raptors to come out of that matchup personally, just because of the mismatch with Kawhi Leonard. So I would guess we're going to get Warriors Raptors in the finals this year, just based on the way that the teams have shaped up right now. Obviously, the Raptors have an affinity for choking in the playoffs, but Kawhi is such a load in a 7-game series. People don't really seem to understand or have a grasp of how hard it's going to be for any Eastern Conference team to compete with him. So I would say right now you got to lean Raptors.
Exactly. Hey, just to touch on what you just said, man, that was an excellent breakdown. I'm over here just like in awe. You know what I mean? Like, I know the crowd, and I mean the viewers are too. They're in awe the way you just broke that down so eloquently. Hey, you said the words everybody wanted to hear. Who from California and all the Warrior fans. When Boogie Cousins get back, it's gonna be a whole different Warriors team. I think the spacing will come back. The defense will step up. They'll be able to guard the paint and be able to guard the perimeter a little bit. Plus, you got KD out there. We just watched Klay Thompson do something remarkable last night. 43 points off only 4 dribbles? I don't think I've ever seen that before, ever in the NBA. So this Golden State team is still the team to beat. And with this Lakers team, which we're going to get on in a little bit too, they're not ready yet. They're supposed to be the ones that's supposed to be right there on the Golden State Warriors' ass. You have the Rockets right now. To me, Harden is all about Harden every single night. What Harden does. Harden has a bad night. The team has a bad night,
Absolutely agree with that.
Jay Money?
Yeah, Lakers are a year away. I totally agree with you on all those points.
Well, let's get to this game real quick we have on tonight.
Now, just real quick, I just want to say I think the Rockets dethrone the Warriors this year.
Oh, no, it can happen, man. It can happen. It can happen. If Harden had taken his foot off the gas a little bit last year and he was a little fresher in that series, I don't think the Warriors come away with that Game 7 win. And granted, it's tough to dethrone. It's tough to dethrone the king, and it's tough to in that moment in that game. Like if they just hit any of those threes in that second half, they probably go to the Western. They go to the finals and win. And it's a huge hump to get over. And with a fresher Harden this year, you could see a different result. But the only thing that I think can really stop the Warriors this year with this team, with Boogie Cousins in the playoffs, is going to be themselves. Like internal struggle on the team. Like if there's drama, because clearly Durant's trying to kind of seize the control of the team, and there's some social stuff going on there that I don't have a total grasp on. But if that kind of pulls them apart, at the seams, then they're vulnerable. But that's a hot call, man. That's a hot take that because it's probably going to be in Oakland, the Game 7 this year, if it comes down to Western Conference Finals, Houston versus Golden State, because I don't think anyone in the West is catching Golden State record-wise this season.
Yeah, well, since we still on this game, man, Will, what's your take on this game tonight? Actually, I mean, I'm on the Bucks. I know my man Jay Money's on the Bucks. The Bucks are 24-10 as favorites. The Rockets are 14-5 at home. All these stats we could talk about. The Rockets won their last 5 games at home. But when it comes down to it tonight in this game right here, who's your pick? Is it a total? Is it a spread? Is it both? I really like the Bucks in this spot. I think the Rockets will miss Paul tonight. They will miss Eric Gordon tonight. I think the Bucks are going to be more hungrier than the Rockets team is. And like I said, it goes by, in my opinion, what Harden does. If Harden has an off night, we saw it in Portland a couple of days ago, what happens when you have an off night, the team has an off night. Well, they don't win games. What's your thoughts on who wins this game tonight, Will Capper?
Okay, so I think this comes down to kind of the last possessions of the game. And when it's that tight of a cap, I got to look at who's the home team and who are they going to put the ball in the hands. They're going to put it in Harden's hands. He is absolutely shooting. You can't defend him in the end of game situations. If this is one possession, in the fourth quarter, then you got to tip it to the Rockets to get the win. If I don't disagree with you that the Bucks are a better team, deeper, top to bottom. I don't disagree with you. Chris Paul needs to get back and get healthy and take some of this load off of Harden and start contributing pretty quick. Same with Eric Gordon. Eric Gordon's a great player. He needs to get back and get healthy pretty quick too, or Houston's going to run into a wall one of these days. But I feel like this is a very competitive game, competitive matchup, and team with the ball last wins. And if you're a team that makes the last key shot wins, and I think that's going to be James Harden. I love the way that Capella has kind of emerged offensively over the last handful of months. And I think, that's kind of the focus of their offense will be going forward is just Harden and Capella, and it's a great tandem. But I would say in this game, my favorite look is the over. One of the things that we tend to see this time of year is players are like all-star voting is relatively wide open, right? Like anyone can vote. And a lot of the voting is done in the month of January, like right around Martin Luther King Day, right? And what we've kind of noticed, or at least I've seen, like specific star players who are trying to clinch their starting spots on the All-Star team or clinch a roster spot, they really try to show out this time of year to make sure that they get those votes, get that push onto that team. And it's all about money, because like if you're on the All-Star roster, if you're a first team All-NBA, if you're on the All-Star roster, you're on a fast track to be All-NBA. And if you're All-NBA, if you're a perennial All-Star, you're going to get more guaranteed money. That's the way they got the contract situated. And so guys like Giannis tonight, guys like Harden, some of the secondary players like Chris Middleton, and even Capella, like these guys need to put up stats tonight. They need to make sure that everybody knows that they're like top level players right now and get their spots, get consideration for All-Star and All-NBA so they can get paid. And so over is the look here for me. I think 229 is a hair low. If this was a game that was being played in like November or even December, maybe I would have a little bit different take. But because this is January, because these guys are going to try to put up stats, I think you're going to see a little bit more effort on the offensive side, a little bit lax effort on the defensive side of the glass. Because, you only have so much you can pour into a game every night, right? And if you're all about getting the stats, getting the recognition, you're going to turn it down a little bit on defense. It's just there's only so much you can give. And so I like an over here, the best. And I think the team that makes the shots down the stretch wins. And I mean, as great as Giannis is, and as much as I think he ought to be considered and probably will get the MVP this year, end of games, I have not seen it yet. I'm not seeing him really be able to make that play that you can't stop the way that Harden can shoot three right now, or the way that Harden can draw a foul right now. There's just enough he needs to kind of develop in that end of game, high leverage situations where he can put them over the top that he doesn't have right now. That's the only thing that would probably keep me off Bucks in this game.
Man, I'm over here blown away right now, J Money. What you got to say about this shit, man? I'm hopping on the over here. I'm telling that shit, Will Capper. It's official for me. Y'all heard it at King's Court, the royal family. Man, we telling Will on this one, Jay. What you got to say?
Yeah, on the total, I am going head to head with y'all on the total, unfortunately, but I already bet it. I'm not betting out of it. I'm on the Bucks in this game. They do have as of right now, they do have the best record in the NBA. We know they over there in the East, but they have beat this same Warriors team this year in Golden State. I'm not saying it's a lot. It is just a regular season game, but I just at least had to throw that out there. They can win on the road. They can win a big game on the road. Like you say, no Chris Paul and no Eric Gordon tonight. I do think that will show. I mean, the Bucks, they are just absolutely stacked, bro. I'm loving their team. They're super deep. They're stacked with defenders and they have plenty of 3-point shooters. They got a lot more weapons than Houston right now. Like I say, especially with the injuries. If you contain Harden, then you stop the Rockets. It's simple. So if you throw Bledsoe out there, I know he's not a super great defender, but they got Malcolm Brogdon out there. I would put him on Harden to maybe try to start racking up foul calls. But if Harden isn't getting the foul calls, then he gets super frustrated and start passing the ball, and they're not that deep of a team. The Bucks, they're number 2 in offensive rating and number 4 in defensive rating, which the Rockets are number 3 in offensive rating, but they're 25th in assist percentage. It's all going through Harden. It's either Harden or nothing. They don't pass the ball. It's nothing but hero ball, as my guy King Real would say. That's the reason why a lot of their totals sometimes will go under, because James Harden just walked the ball up the court and hold the ball for 20 seconds and then threw up a shot, three-pointer, and try to get fouled. And the Bucks, they're number 2 in the league in rebounds. So I'm liking the Bucks across the board in this one. I'm taking them on the road. I know everyone was on the Rockets, and you still see the line flip. So I did take a shot with the under. I do think it will be some defense played in this game, but that's just me. That's a small shot, but I do think that this game will go under, and maybe a little bit of defense will be played. Like I say, if they stop Harden, this will be a lower score game. If he goes off, then the Rockets will win and it'll go over. So I just think this is a little bit correlated. It's either a Bucks game and under, or Rockets win and it goes over. So that's just my take on this game.
Hey, before we move on to the next game, go ahead. Go ahead, Will. I want to ask you if you want to chime in.
All your points were super sharp, J Money. Those were all really good points. And actually, because I know you guys like in play, I know you guys look for live angles. I'm expecting most of the points in this game to come in the first 3 quarters. Just like you mentioned, when the going gets tough, Harden dribbles out the shot clock every freaking time, throws up a prayer, and he goes in so much. But, he definitely does completely change the pace of the game if it's a tight game going in late. So if this is like, I'm going to say if it's 99 to 96 at the end of the third quarter, which I think is reasonable, then I'm looking for a live under, probably expecting that fourth quarter total to come in around like 46, 48 or something like that. And that could make the final game, could make the full game total a little bit tight. So those points I think were all really well made.
Yeah, I hear you there. You make an excellent point, too, about that total going to the third. I kind of do that myself, too. If I see a game kind of high and I'm figuring, well, this is the game that both teams really want to win, then they'll probably play a little bit more defense in that fourth quarter and start trying to clamp down and actually defend the basketball. So you make a great point there. I want 2 more games I want to ask you about, Will, before we get out of here. One is about this crappy-ass team, the Cavaliers. I keep telling everybody, man, they're tanking for Zion, man. Lose for Zion. That's the whole plan. But you have a beast over here on the other team, the Pelicans. Tonight, they get more back. I didn't go back and check, but I think Mirotic may play or he may come off the bench. I haven't went back and checked on that. What's your thoughts on Anthony Davis and the Pelicans team over here? Is this a game they come out tonight and just blow the Cavaliers away? Or are we seeing the last days of Anthony Davis in New Orleans?
Gosh, this is such a good question. I wish I had a solid answer for you on this, but the Pelicans are like the hardest team to figure out right now because they went through this brutal stretch where travel was just, every game they were at a disadvantage, rest-wise, all throughout like the late part of November and December. They just were beat up and they lost some heartbreakers. And a lot of them, like Anthony Davis, they were expecting him to kind of elevate them at the end of games, and he didn't do it. Like, he put up great stats. He's having a monster year, but like when they needed him to put him over the top and win games, he couldn't do it. I can't tell you if that's because he's like exhausted and or if he's like, I know I'm on my way out of here. it kind of is I have more leverage if we are not a playoff team than if we are kind of a bubble playoff team. Because like the way that I don't know a ton about contracts and the rules for going after a player like Anthony Davis, because they're real complicated. If you're like that level player, like I know the Celtics really can't make a run at him this year because of the level of players they already have on their roster, but the Lakers could. And so if the Lakers put together a pretty compelling package, we could see Davis and LeBron end up in LA this year, which would be crazy. But I don't know if that's what Davis wants. And I don't know if Davis knows what he wants, right? Like, it's not obvious to me that he's trying super hard all the time, or if he's like exhausted, because after Mirotic got hurt, this team was like absolutely strapped for clutch scoring. And, it hasn't been an impressive run from Davis, in my opinion, even though he's putting up crazy stats because of, he's not hitting shots at the end of games that he needs to be to getting Pelicans wins. And I can't tell you. I would be guessing if I told you it's because he wants to get out or if it's because he's just tired. I don't know.
Got you. Hey, great breakdown. Yeah, I was wondering that myself. Like, does he want to be there? Like, you made a great point right there, saying is he just exhausted? Is he figuring they have a better leverage if his team is not a playoff team? Because once you start winning, they definitely want to keep you around. You got the coach coming out saying we're not trading him. That's not really his call to make. So you don't know. And Anthony Davis isn't as vocal as most NBA players out here are. So he's kind of a quiet, reserved guy a little bit, not so Kawhi-ish, but he kind of just goes with the program, not really trying to rustle any feathers. Anything you want to fill in over here, J Money, on this? I mean, I'm off of this game. If anybody want to know, I'm off of this game. I have no bet on this game. It will be an in play for me. That's how I like to play the Cavaliers games, in play them. But Jay, what's your thoughts on this game real quick?
Yeah, on the Pelicans and Cavs, I don't have much on it. I would only take the over, seeing the way that the Pelicans put up 130 points against them last time. But that's the only thing. The Cavs, most of their games go over when they're at the house. Not so much when we're on the road. I don't know if the Cavs could help this game get over. That's why I didn't bet it, but that's the only way I would lean. I stayed away from the side. Mirotic is playing tonight, but that is a bunch of points. I know they already blew him out by 35, but you just never know when the Cavs will come to play and build that little pesky team. I mean, they could easily lose this game by 10 to 12 points and still cover their spread. And do the Pelicans want to come out here and just really blow them out again? So, like I say, it's a tough one to call. It's not a game that I'll be betting on. If we want to talk about this next game, man, I could talk about it all night. I'm all over this next game that we're finna talk about.
Well, we could go to the next. I don't know how long we got Will for, but there's one game I did want to ask him before we did lose Will. But I know you want to hop on this Dallas game, Jay. That's the one you want to go about. So I'll let you and Will break down this Dallas game because I have nothing on this Mavs game tonight at all. I am off of it. But Jay, hey, you guys lead the way. Jay, go ahead.
Yeah, on this one, man, I know the Suns have had our number. And I say our because I live in Dallas, man. I'm a Mavs fan. I was there when they won the championship, man, everything. I know the Suns have been dominators, already beat us twice this year, but that was in Phoenix. The Suns are 0-6 this year in the second half of the back-to-back, the 0-6 ATS. So I'm fading the Suns here. They shouldn't have won last night. They exerted a shitload of energy coming back to beat the Kings. It's definitely not going to help. Then you got to take the flight to Dallas, which you're losing time in that flight as well. It turns into like a 5-hour flight. Give me the Mavs here, man. I'm on them first quarter, first half, and full game. I love the Mavs here. They should blow the Suns out. Luka is playing. Devin Booker's out. So everything is favoring the Mavs here. They should come in here and send a message to the Suns. We know y'all done beat us the past 7 times, man, but we finna blow y'all out by 20-plus points tonight. I could definitely see it. I don't see them letting up on the Suns tonight. I know some people may be on the Suns, or you could be a little weird. You're betting the Mavs tonight, but this is a total Mavs spot. The line is moving up fast, man. I am on this shit.
Thoughts, Will Capper? I have nothing to say about this team.
Yeah, man. Suns are tough to figure out. That was a wild win that they got last night in Sacramento, but all of Jay's points were spot on. I had this spot circled. Like, I usually, like, my process is I kind of look at the week on Monday and try to get a feel for like how teams are going to be motivated high or low as we go through the week. And I had that Phoenix spot circled last night. Like, they're going to try hard in this spot. And then Dallas is the absolute nuts play on Wednesday. But I was expecting a lower line. And then Doncic, a little bit banged up. that those two, the fact that the line is as high as, they're asking you to lay as many points as they are, and the fact that Doncic is a little banged up scared me off of backing Dallas. But I think all of Jay's points were pretty sharp there. I ended up playing the under in this one. I think 217 is too high. I think that just like in pretty much the same reason that Jay likes Dallas. Like, I think Phoenix without Booker, sometimes they have trouble with offense. Last night, the Kings defense at times can just turn into a revolving door, and the Suns absolutely picked on that. With DeAndre Jordan doing a much better job of protecting the lane, I don't think the easy points are going to be there for Phoenix. I think you could easily see Phoenix put out like a 15, 17-point quarter in the first or second or third quarter of this game that kind of takes the game out of reach. And whether they're going to have the same energy come fourth quarter to try to get back into this, I don't think so. I think this game gets put away pretty early by Dallas. And I could see a final score that doesn't even crack 210, to be honest with you. So I'm looking for under 217 here. I think it's a legit, maybe I don't love playing unders in the NBA, but this is one that I think has some legs.
Hey, I'm taking that one too. That was the only way I was thinking about playing this game right here. This Dallas team, I just can't get my pulse on this team, man. They look good one minute, look bad the next minute. They beat LA first quarter, first half, last game. They come out and lose the game when Luka went down and stuff like that. It goes by the way Luka go. And Luka, I mean, he is the rookie of the year. I give him that. But I just can't back Dallas right now with that big of a point spread. This team hasn't proven they're worth that type of money to be laying on them -8 or -8.5, where I've seen some places too. I just can't do it. But Jay Money, bravo to you. And Will Capper, you made an excellent point too. I thought that total was high, and I am taking that under 217. But Jay, I will play your Dallas Mavericks though. If I'm looking at something by second quarter or halftime and I'm liking what I see, I probably will hop on it. Unless they are knee deep in that ass over there, then I'll leave it alone. But if there's like a closer game, I might hop on. I might hop on the Mavs. But before you go, Will Capper, this is the last game I definitely want to ask you about. It's the Lakers and Pistons. Lakers team, to me, they cannot win without LeBron James. They can't win without Rondo. My question is, well, I'm on the Pistons tonight, but I'll let you give your take on this game too. But I'm on the Pistons tonight. But my question is, we see what the Lakers have right now. Do you think Magic Johnson and the Lakers should kind of just let LeBron rest the rest of this year? I've suggested that the people I hang out with, I say it in the barbershop all the time, rest LeBron for this year. You don't really have what you want until next year anyway, unless you guys make a trade for Anthony Davis or can get a Kawhi or something right now. And I don't think the Lakers can. What's your thoughts on that? What is your take on LeBron even playing this season?
Wow, that's a good question. I hadn't really given that a ton of thought. I would say, I guess what I would say is the Lakers' ceiling and their floor, in my opinion, is about exactly the same. They're going to make the playoffs. They're going to win their first round matchup against some team that LeBron James can just outclass, and then they're going to lose in the second round. Like, I don't think that there's really a whole lot of other possibilities for this Lakers team this season, which does beg the question, like, what does it do for your franchise? What does it do for your fan base? Like, do you energize the fans? Do can you make money just by going to the playoffs and having a couple extra home games and getting people excited for next year? Is it a mistake to waste one of the last years of LeBron's career? Like, these are really tough questions. And I mean, granted, Magic Johnson is a brilliant businessman, and I would expect he has some vision for this year that makes sense for the Lakers financially and trying to kind of recoup some of the, some of the legacy that was lost since Kobe kind of, hit the skid and retired. They haven't made the playoffs in like 5 years. I think it's pretty important for the Lakers to make the playoffs. And if you put LeBron on the shelf for, I don't know, a month or two, till after the All-Star break or something, I don't know about if you're going to make the playoffs in the Western Conference. And if you do make the playoffs, I don't think you want the 8 seed if you have to go to play the Warriors in round 1. That's bad news, man. And so I could see some rationale for trying to take a little bit of, not necessarily put a bunch of miles on LeBron this year. But he's a competitor. He's a baller. He's going to want to at least see some playoff minutes this year for this Lakers team, get the fans excited. They're auditioning for Anthony Davis. They're auditioning for free agents. I was surprised last year during free agency that no one really seemed to want to come to. No, especially good players wanted to come to LA and play with LeBron. That was shocking. I think he needs to kind of show them that he needs to show the other marquee free agents that they have something good going there. And I think that means they need to win a playoff series. So I think if you're LeBron and if you're Magic Johnson, I think your primary focus is let's get a middling seed in the Western Conference, 3 to 6. Let's get a matchup with a team that we can compete against. Like I'm thinking good, like the Trailblazers would be a great one. Like a 4-5 matchup between the Trailblazers and the Lakers would be ideal for LeBron and company this year. And I think they could win that series and move on to the second round where they get waxed by the Warriors or something like that. If I was the Lakers, that's what I would be trying to angle for. Tonight, Blake Griffin back in LA, Pistons, great look by all counts. I totally concede that that would be the side to bet tonight in this one. Too much uncertainty for me though. I don't understand the Pistons team. I don't really understand what they're doing. And for all I know, Blake Griffin's mailed it in and just went back to LA and got with his people as opposed to really preparing for this game. So I like that angle on the Pistons tonight that you're looking for.
No doubt. Anything you want to add, Jay Money, before we let Will Capper get out of here? Or anything you want to give real quick, Will Capper, any game we didn't touch on that you want to touch on, or anything you want to speak on real quick before we get you up out of here, man? Well, I've enjoyed all your time, man. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, one real quick thing.
Go ahead, Jay.
No, I just want to say real quick, I am with y'all on the under. Will Capper, you were spot on that one. I definitely see this game going under. I don't even see the Suns cracking 100 points. I'll probably be taking the Suns team total under, and I'm already on the under 217.5 with both of you guys. And just one more game that I did want to talk about real quick. The Orlando Magic, they're on the last game of a very long road trip. They probably already mailed it in like they mailed it in the last game. I'm on Utah tonight, and I'm on the under. This is another game where I don't even see Orlando getting to 100 points in this one. This is a revenge game for the Jazz, but the Magic beat them in Mexico or whatever. It's a revenge spot. The Jazz should blow them out the water. It is a high spread, but I like the Jazz by double digits, and I like the under in that game. Y'all know what's up, man. It's J Money is money. Y'all go follow me on Twitter. I appreciate you, Will Capper, for coming in, man. You broke down everything perfectly. No, I'm just saying, just in case I don't get back on, Will.
Go ahead, Will.
Yeah, so I like your points about Utah, Orlando. I think Utah puts their foot on the gas in this one and scores like in the 120s potentially. So I took the over 208. I think that's too low. The Jazz, to me, on the road are an over team. For whatever reason, they don't shoot well. They don't play particularly well at home. I can't explain the Magic at all, really. I'm sorry. Yeah, Orlando is a poor home team, great road team in terms of scoring points. They play horrible defense on the road, and I think this lends itself to an over in Utah. So I got over 208 in that one. I took a leap. I usually like to really study fatigue and like how tired teams are, and try to find mismatches. And usually they're pretty strong angles. Boston was a little bit of a good one today. That's why I bet that I laid the points with the Celtics. Chicago is a good one too. The Trailblazers are tired. We saw last game against the Knicks, Dame Lillard didn't even really participate on the offense in the first half because he looked so tired. And when he did start to participate, his shot didn't look good. I think he's feeling a lot of fatigue right now. Chicago is a terrible, terrible team. I don't really like anything about the direction of that franchise. You mentioned tanking Cavs. I think Chicago is even more blatantly tanking. But that said, the mismatch that they have in terms of rest tonight is huge. Chicago should be rested. They should be pretty fresh here. So I backed the Bulls, but I don't feel great about it. So altogether, my card was Boston, over in Houston, under in Dallas, over in Utah, and I grabbed the points with Chicago. Hopefully, just like the Knicks kind of snuck in and got that cover against the Blazers on Monday, I'm hoping that the Bulls do exactly the same thing tonight.
Hey, I was thinking the same thing, and that's completely why I stayed off of this game for the time being. I'm a Blazer fan. I got my Blazer hat on. I love my town. But I noticed how we played down the competition at home, and you're giving us 10 points against like you said, a rested Bulls team. The Bulls, their road trip starts now. They have, a game against I think Golden State coming up a little bit. I think Blazers, we got Charlotte coming in town in a couple of days. That's probably the game we're looking more to Charlotte-wise, just because we just have a thing with Charlotte and with Jordan. So it's a whole thing over there. But as far as tonight, I don't really see the Blazers as well as coming out there trying to just whoop on the Suns. Only way the Blazers win by 10, I think, is if the Suns don't care themselves, don't come out there and play tonight themselves. But I agree with you there, but I'm completely off of that game. Well, we don't have to let you go, but anything you want to give the people, tell them where to follow you at. I also want to thank you so much. I know Jay Money feels the same way, man. Thank you for coming on, spending your afternoon with us, out here making our show now the coolest show on YouTube. Low Bags is number 2 now. We the coolest show now because now we have Will Capper on here.
Well, hey, okay, so signing off. Number 1, appreciate the audience hanging in there in the chat and asking questions and participating. That's like super fun, cool part of this whole deal. And number 2, appreciate both you and Jay. Like there's maybe no harder sport to really produce good content on than the NBA when it comes to handicapping. It is so tough. There's so many teams, so many moving parts. Things change constantly. And I give you guys huge credit for coming out here daily and producing winners and useful information and giving the people, something to talk about who want to bet on the NBA. It's really something, and appreciate you guys and props to you guys. And whatever I can do to help support your show, you let me know.
Thank you so much, Will Capper, man. Anytime you want to come on or anything you need from me and Jay Money, man, please don't hesitate to reach out, man. Shit, I love it. Would love to have you on here more often. Whenever you have the time, I'll make sure I reach out myself. But anytime you want to come on here, hey, man, we'll love to have you. Jay, you want to say something before Will Capper gets up out of here?
Yeah, hell yeah. Like I say, I'm honored to have you on our show, Will Capper. You come back anytime, like Real say, man, just let us know. You come on every day if you want to, man. You can be joined in with us if you want. No, you probably don't have the time like that. You big time like that. But hey, I'm just glad to be on this platform with both of you guys, man. So I appreciate it, Will Capper. We glad to have you, man, anytime.
All right. Thanks, guys. Keep grinding.
No problem, man. Thanks, man. Well, that was Will Capper, y'all, man. This is an amazing day right there, Jay Money. We just had Will Capper out here, man. All I did was sat back like a kid in awe, bro. It's like I just met fucking Santa Claus for the first time. You know, you walking by the mall, you see Santa over there. You like, is that the real Santa Claus? Your mama like, yeah, that's the real Santa Claus. Say, man, what? Why the fuck Santa Claus working at the mall? You know what I mean? But you know what I mean? That's how I felt. Like I just met Santa for the first time, man. Shout out to Will Capper, man. Shout out to SBR for allowing us to do this. And man, hey Jay, this is the start, man. A lot of guys we look up to in this business. A lot of people we watch on TV or YouTube. We plan on having on here with us, man. So it was a blessing. But we have a few more games, Jay. You want to shout your plays out real quick for the people? Well, I give them my plays real fast too.
No problemo. We did take the over in the Indiana Pacers and the Boston Celtics game. I'm on the Bucks and the under in the game. I'm on a small shot on Memphis money line plus the 130. I did take a small shot with the over in the Cavs in the New Orleans game. That was a late play, a small shot, man. I'm on the Mavs first quarter, first half, and full game. Feeling very comfortable about it, and I'm on the under. I'm on the Jazz is another one that I'm feeling very confident about. I'm on the Jazz. Got them at -9, so up to 9.5 now. I do like the under this game. The Will Capper made very good points. Why I could go over. The line moved up 2 points, but I did already bet the under 207.5. I did take the over in the Bulls and the Portland game, and then I don't have any play on that Pistons and Lakers game. I think I did take the under on that one. I got it at 217. No.
Yeah. My plays real quick so we ran over time, man. It was a great episode today. Great show, you guys. You guys have been watching the show for a long time who's been here. This is probably one of our best shows we had up here, man. It was so informational. That's the word, right? I ain't smoke. I think that's the word. Informational. It was great. It was just great. I learned a lot already, man. I'm ready to cap fucking totals. I'm not even a total guy like that, but I'm ready to just go dive into the totals, Jay. But my plays today, I'm on the Celtics first half. Look like that's pretty good for us. I'm on I didn't take a full game. I wanted to. I'm on the over 214. I still supported at 216. I'm also on the Philadelphia -3.5. Not looking too well right now. Philly is actually getting the ass whipped. So I should have kind of kept it to my home and home. I did bet the home team at home to bet the home team at home. I didn't. Hopefully Philly can make a pushback. Halftime, I'll try to tweet something out if I see anything I like about this team or in play it. We both are on the Nets. Nets right now started off really slow against this Hawks team. Don't see this Hawks team keeping it up. Also, I'm on the Bucks. I'm on Bucks money line. And I tell my man Will Capper on his over tonight in that game as well at 228. When it comes to the Spurs game, I'm on the Spurs minus the 2.5. The Cavaliers and Pelicans game, that's the game that Will Capper suggests to take the under 217 in. So I'm going to jump on that with him and take the under 217. Suns, Magic, Mavs, I have no play in it, completely off of it. Don't like it at all. But I will in-play it. If I see anything before it come out, I'll tweet it out. But my man J Money has plenty of plays on that game. If you like it, follow him. All what my man Will Capper had to say about it. Jazz, Magic, a game I didn't talk about, but I hear you guys there. And Will Capper said he liked the over in that game. Jay, you like the -9. So guess what? I'm taking the first half. It was a play I already took earlier today. I'm on the first half of the Jazz game. As for the Blazers and Bulls game, completely off of it. That's an in-play game for me. I want to see how the Blazers start off first half and how the Bulls start off first half, but I'm off of it. And I'm on the Pistons. Yes, I'm on the Pistons money line tonight. That's probably my second biggest bet tonight next to the Spurs that I took. I'm on the Pistons tonight money line. I know this Pistons team have problems with their guards. I know this LA team has had problems scoring. They have Kuzma in tonight, back with them as well, and they're at home. But guess who else is at home? Blake Griffin's back at home, where he just spent this, where he was drafted to, where he came from, where he wants to be. So I'm on the Pistons tonight. I think Blake and Drummond would just be a little bit too much for this LA team. I also think the fact that the Detroit Pistons guards will be a little bit too much. Plus, don't forget, this Detroit team is the best team at guarding the perimeter in the league. So those balls, if you expected hard to get those 3 balls, no, I'm sorry. You're going to need LA to attack the paint tonight if they want to win against Detroit. It's going to be kind of hard to attack the paint tonight against Detroit with Blake Griffin and Drummond down there. So that's my plays. Anything you want to add on, Jay, or anything you want to follow up about what I just said about that Detroit-LA game?
Yeah, I would tread light with that one. We know the Lakers haven't been playing too good. They are coming back to the house off of a long road trip. Like I say, I did only take the under in that one. The side, I did like the Lakers, but I could definitely see what you're saying. The Pistons here, it's a tough game to call. I didn't bet it. It gun to my head, I would have to take the Lakers at home, but I could definitely see what you're saying there with the Pistons. My only play on it is the under. Just 2 comments real quick. Beasley, he said, man, Jay Money said that game looked fishy. I think he's talking about the Wizards game. I'm just saying, man. And then John said, I can't believe this show is free. I would pay to watch this shit, man. Appreciate it, John. Like they say on the Low Bag Show, man. I appreciate y'all. We should say that comment. That's all I got to say, man.
No doubt, man. You know as well, I always tweet out my plays. Win or lose, I'll tweet it out after the show. Give me a little bit because, I got to go roll up. I got to get my mind right. I'll get it out there. But once again, man, today was a big day for not just myself, but for my man Jay Money. He made his low bag debut. We had Will Kepper on today. Today is a blessing in disguise, man. I am blessed. We are blessed and grateful and thankful to have all you guys in here with us the whole time, watching the show, contributing, conversating, and talking with us, man. We love you guys, man. Thank you so much to Pete, Jimmy, Sophia, Larry, Zach, Seth, Nat. Man, everybody who contributes, who made King's Court, who gave us this opportunity, who just played a part in this growth of our show. We love you guys, man. Thank you guys, man. We'll see you guys tomorrow, man. I'm King Real. That's Jay Money, man. Good luck to everybody, man, tonight. Love you guys. See y'all tomorrow.